With the muffler Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan, and this is my intro. Welcome to Squared Circle Cinema, a discussion of film and television featuring professional wrestlers. Follow us on Twitter at SCC_podcast, and we'll follow you right back. Ryan, how's it going today, pal?
It's good. That was very professional. I was like, is this the Big Tobacco that we all know and love?
This is the new Mike Big Tobacco Ryan that you are going to grow to love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got the swear jar
I'm
there.
happier. I'm more content. I've replaced contempt with content, and it feels pretty darn good. You know what, though? Wait. Shut up. How come you never ask me how I'm doing? Huh? We're always leading with, how you doing, pal? And that's, oh, thank you so much. That's why you're so calm and pleasant all the goddamn time. I'm always asking you how you're doing. It feels nice every once in a while to be asked for once.
You always do the intros. And your intro is always like, how you doing? Maybe if you'd asked different questions or changed it up a little bit, I'd be inclined to ask you how you're doing.
I'm doing wonderfully, Ryan. Thank you so much for asking.
All I did was compliment you about how great your intro was and how professional you were.
Yeah. And tell me something I don't know.
What did you do? You just ruined everything.
I know it's a good intro. I know it's a professional intro. I know my delivery is excellent. Was I practicing? Yes. Tell me something I do not know. And ask me. I'm going to swear less. I'm going to stop yelling so much. And I'm going to be most like an all-around better present person. Okay. Supportive, warm. Stop.
That was you.
No.
Yeah.
Who said that?
That was you.
Who's that asshole that sounds... Wait, what the hell are you doing? Stop. Stop. What are you... When the hell was that recorded?
Recently. When you said you were going to turn over a new leaf. The leaf has yet to turn.
You know, it's called mania.
The colors haven't changed.
It's called manic depressive, and I don't think it's right that you're making light of it, quite frankly.
Well, anyway. Maybe you should get on some medication or something.
Anyway, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I just drove up here from beautiful Villa Park, California, in my mom's Camry at the highest chair setting imaginable.
Wow.
I didn't know, there was a setting this high.
Your mom's not even that short.
It's like I basically was standing. And, it's like I don't want to mess with her levels because she got it just like she likes it, But there's no need to be that high above the road.
She just needs a bigger car. I think that's what she needs. She needs an SUV. She wants to be high up.
Really?
But she's in a Camry.
My head was hitting the ceiling.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my God.
She desires to be high. She can't. She can't do it. She needs to get a new car. She needs to get herself a RAV4.
She's starting to talk about minivans. No. SUVs, kind of.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell her like a Mazda, one of those kind of, not hybrid, like those combo sedan SUV kind of hybrid things. The Mazda 3 or whatever. It's big,
The Mazda 3 is like
it's
little coupe. All right, let's get moving. We've got a special show planned for you.
We do, and gosh, Dan, I got to tell you, I'm kind of freaking out right now because my computer is making these very bizarre sounds, and I took real incredible notes. So if this goes, then I go. It's like the fan is overworking right now, but it's nice and cool out today though, so it's not like it's overheating. Anyway,
so what are we doing?
Wait, is that my computer overheating that I smell? Do you smell that? What is that smell? You know what that is? That's my love for gimmick matches. It's just permeating the air here.
Okay.
All right, because this month, we got our Survivor series and a few elimination matches, but also, in this month of November 2017, we also get the WarGames.
They're back.
WWE is kind enough to finally bring it back.
After all these years.
Boy, am I excited about tonight's podcast. Not only will we discuss film number 33 of 5,162, ESPN Films 30 for 30, Nature Boy, we're also going to throw us a good old-fashioned SCC 5-on-5 elimination battle between WWF Survivor Series and WCW's WarGames. Here are the rules.
Thank you, Tony.
First, 5 of the highest-rated Survivor Series elimination matches will go head-to-head with 5 War Games contests. Rule number 2, each matchup will be determined by chronological proximity. Rule number 3, through the art of conversation, the agreed-upon preferred match by the two, that's Muffler and myself, will be declared the winner. In the event of a tie, a coin toss will be implemented. If Survivor Series wins, this best of 5 contest, Squared Circle Cinema will proudly present another coveted and well-received Big 4 bonus episode, and will record a loosey-goosey and quite frankly unlistenable installment of the podcast. And if War Games wins, we will not.
We'll
have
watch
us a
NXT
drunken and
WarGames.
listenable installment of the podcast while watching the latest NXT TakeOver WarGames. Let the discussion begin. Oh, you know what? No. Let the talking points begin. Damn it. I came up with that on the... Fuck. Ruined everything. Oops.
Swear jar. Before we start...
How are you doing today, buddy?
Great. Before we start, I wanted to review the rule changes for the NXT WarGames. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Because it's 3 teams of 3 facing off. And I'll just go over the new rules as found on WWE.com.
Okay, 3 teams of 3 had been done before.
It's been done before, but there's some changes. 3 team members are from Sanity, Undisputed Era, and then there's the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong are all facing off. They will wage war in the massive steel cage that surrounds 2 rings. All 3 teams will be contained inside separate shark cages by the entryway, with a member from each team as chosen by the representative squad starting the match. After 5 minutes, the remaining members from one team will be released from their shark cage and allowed to enter the match. So it's going to be a 3-on-1 advantage after 5 minutes.
Okay. Fine.
When another 3-minute period elapses, the remaining members from a second team are released from their shark cage. Following another 3-minute period, the final team members are released from their shark cage. Once all 3 team members have entered the WarGames match, a victory can be attained by pinfall or submission.
Okay.
Pinfalls are allowed.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of cool. I guess we get it captures the match beyond element of War Games, so I like that. It just feels like the Elimination Chamber to me, though. Why do we have to overcomplicate things? What's so great about War Games is the beauty and simplicity of War Games. And also what I heard, no roof on the cage.
There's no roof on the cage?
No roof.
Oh, that's
no
bullshit.
roof. I bet it's going to look... have they leaked photos of what the cage looks like?
They haven't.
Okay. I bet it's going to be a beautiful... beautiful structure.
Based on the talent involved, I'm sure it's going to be a match of the year contender. It's got to be.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to seeing. And I got that little tip from What Happened When, that there's going to be no roof. And that would be very disappointing. Because I think a main complaint of the War Games is the height of the cage. I think it adds a wonderful element. Well,
I like that they do the spot, the press spot.
I like that. They have to adjust to that. They if they're doing a back body drop, it has to be done very carefully. And you know what? Steve Austin we'll talk to later, and Brian Pillman, Johnny B. Bad, they're jumping off the top rope. Like they're figuring out a way how to do like a crossbody. Ricky Steamboat, man, the athleticism that this match brings out is really great.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, let's start. Round 1. Take it, Mike.
Okay. Are you ready? All right. Round 1, Survivor Series 1987 at the Richfield Coliseum in Richfield Township, Ohio, saw Team Hogan battle Team Andre. Hulk Hogan, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Bam Bam Bigelow, Ken Patera, and Don Morocco versus Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, One Man Gang, Ravishing Rick Rude, and the Natural Butch Reed. This match will go head-to-head against War Games from the Great American Bash 1989 at the Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, where the Fabulous Freebirds and the Samoan SWAT team, the Head Shrinkers, battled the Midnight Express, the Road Warriors, and Dr. Death Steve Williams with Michael Hayes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, never mind. Freebirds, Michael Hayes, Jimmy Garvin, Terry Boom Boom Gordy. That's just, okay, I'm getting redundant now.
Okay. Which one's going first?
Huh? Survivor Series.
Let's do it.
Okay. You know what, dude? I put all of my eggs in the intro and outro basket. So, like, I have... Why don't you just talk about it, and I'll lead you in.
You fucking dick. I tried to come up with a format for this.
I like it.
And you just abandoned it.
That's the price you're going to...
You abandoned ship immediately.
No, that's the price you pay, man. Like,
thanks a lot for being a great wingman.
There's a catch for having such amazing intros like that, you know? It's offering absolutely nothing around it. You know what I was thinking watching the Survivor Series was like how terrible it would be to sit through this whole pay-per-view.
Oh,
you know,
this match was so
if
slow.
You were there just for that whole 3.5. Now,
yeah.
And this was back when they actually aired it on Thanksgiving night. So when do you think they shot these?
They shot it Thanksgiving night. It was
really?
It was live.
It was live? Okay.
Yeah, that was like a tradition back in the day of like there would be Christmas Day shows for wrestling because people like wanted to get out. They didn't have a lot to do, so they would just go to a wrestling show.
I don't think it was on Thanksgiving because the crowd would be much more dynamic. You imagine all those pissed off wives that their husband and children forced them to see a wrestling show on Thanksgiving.
You're going to show a pay-per-view and it's not going to be live? I don't know.
I think it was maybe recorded on like a Saturday or a Sunday, and then they aired it on Thursday.
Team Andre, man. Oh, we have a guest, Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner, how would you describe Team Andre?
Fat asses!
What?
Wait.
Fat asses!
Scott!
That's not nice, Scott.
You look great.
You could say something better than that.
Man.
Fat asses!
I can't believe he's so fleet of flight. How does that go? His twinkle toes just snuck in here. Scott, you look great, man.
I think he just flipped you off.
It's kind of surprising that he was able to sneak in here like
He
that.
flipped you off, and now he's leaving.
He's absolutely right, though. What did they say? Did Finkel like announce the combined weight? With a total combined weight of 10,000.
Oh God, this match was just incredibly slow. There was just so much covering for Andre because he can't do anything.
So
Andre's just on the mat watching all of his teammates get eliminated, doesn't give a shit.
Oh, and at the end when he's eliminated, he's like,
yeah.
God, he had the best job in the world.
Yeah.
All he had to do was drink 6 bottles of wine, a case of beer, show up, be able to stand, you know? But, oh, man, he must have been a miserable, like, human being. Like, what do you think his overall demeanor was? I mean, he was in constant pain. He was constantly gawked at. He was constantly
drinking.
Yes.
He would like take shits in bathtubs because he couldn't sit on the toilet.
I wonder what Andre the Giant is like, you know, in alone time, when he has little me time, you know, when he's not having drinks with Hulk Hogan, you know, at the Marriott. No.
So anyway, this is kind of the story.
Oh, and who the fuck is Oliver Humperdinck? I don't even remember that guy.
He was like a manager, I guess.
Yeah.
And he offered absolutely nothing.
No, I know.
The pre-match promo was just terrible with all the baby faces. It was just a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
Like I didn't understand a word these guys
jacked,
said.
though. Gorilla called it determined.
Yeah, they were jacked.
Yeah, no
Hogan gets counted out.
Yeah, early on.
Early on. And then so I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be a star-making performance by Bam Bam Bigelow.
No.
He barely does anything. He looked way better against Lawrence Taylor years and years later.
I love it when Hogan was counted out. Like I love it when Howard Finkel has to announce and address to the crowd what the ref had just whispered to him.
Yeah.
You know? It gets a little wordy sometimes. It's like, and then he's got to go back until the match is over, only to come back, you know, hit Andre over the head with a foreign object. What a heel. He was a heel back then, Ryan. Maybe this is a more complex and sophisticated than we thought.
He's always
cheating.
Heel. He's a cheater. And Andre beats Bam Bam Bigelow with one of the worst suplexes I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is a terrible match. I gave it.
It was bad. I thought it was going to be good. I came into it thinking like, oh, this is like the first Survivor Series. This is going to be all these guys on the top of their game. The crowd's going to be hot. Not really. Kind of a dead crowd. Nobody was really, really into this match. Mm-hmm. Nobody was really getting behind Bam Bam Bigelow. They kind of killed the momentum by counting Hulk Hogan out.
You can't, yeah, but I like the idea that he was counted out.
But even though he was counted out and his team lost, he still posed at the end anyway.
Yeah, that's why Bam Bam
victory.
Bigelow, may rest in peace, never made it to that next level. Yeah. Maybe they gave him that opportunity to shine, and I don't know, he just dropped the ball.
He did main event a WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, and he did an incredible job.
Yeah.
He handled Lawrence Taylor very well.
Yeah.
That is an art form, to be able to just take care and cradle an athlete from another sport.
And make them look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Big Show and Mayweather, you know?
Let's go to Great American Bash 89, WarGames.
WarGames. Doc Hendricks stole the show here for me and his rapport.
Doc Hendricks.
By Michael P.S. Hayes.
Yeah.
I love when he and Paul Heyman are on the outside and they're just going over the game plan like it's a basketball game.
That's the best thing about WarGames.
Yeah, he's got like the cap of the pen in his mouth and he's like, all right, you stand here. Okay, he's going to come around here. Like it's this complex thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then Paul Heyman with his slick back hair, he kind of reminds me of like NBA coaches from back in the day. He's like the Pat Riley.
Oh, that was awesome. That was perfect. Yeah, and there's a really funny moment.
What to do.
Michael P.S. Hayes is the last to enter, and they're going over the game plan, and he's like, "You mean I got to go in there? Damn!"
And
Hawk looked incredible.
Yeah, this was the story of the Road Warriors.
A singles competitor, like why? You know, he would have.
By the time that the Road Warriors stopped being hot, it was kind of over for him.
I guess so.
He'd gotten too far deep into his demons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you watch just like the beginning of the pay-per-view? I watched like the first the intro, like the first 2 minutes. It was kind of lovely. It was like, we're in Baltimore with the farmland.
Yeah.
And look at these beautiful horses in our nice marina.
WCW did that frequently.
It's kind of nice. I like that.
Yeah. They would like paint a picture of the town they were in, especially for Hog Wild, you know, like the Black Hills for centuries, you know, and then they give a little history lesson. Yeah. It's like a nice little
I like
package.
That. Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah. Like, do you ever watch a porn on VHS? At the beginning, there's like this really sweet message that's about like, we have, as American citizens, we have the right to masturbate.
What porns are you watching?
Every single VHS tape of
said
Vivid.
We have
I don't
the
know.
Right to masturbate?
Well, no, it's like just these beautiful pictures of iconic American images. You know, Washington Monument. You know, the Lincoln Memorial, the flag. The
really
red, white, and blue. Yeah, and it's like
I never watched anything
you know,
like that.
the rights of American citizens
to masturbate. Well, that is
lube the hell up to sit on
beautiful message.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the Road Warriors coming down to the ring riding bitch?
I know, man.
That was so weird.
That was terrible.
Why didn't you ride your own motorcycles?
Is that
You're
the first
ride
time they
bitch to the ring?
That's not the first time they rode in. I mean,
I'm not really sure.
SummerSlam '92, they had room though, you know, and they rode in. Yeah, man, they rode in. Actually, I looked. There's a term for that. It's called pillion. Like that's what that's called when you're riding like your girlfriend, you know,
it's
holding on
pillion?
the back. Pillion, yeah.
Well, I thought it was
riding bitch. But that's sexist, Ryan. That is sexist.
Sorry.
We should get a sexist
I would be
jar
happy,
for you.
I'd be happy to ride bitch with a woman driving a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that means I'm not sexist.
Oh,
because I'll gladly sit back there and have no problem at all.
Good
It's just a term for that seat. A man can be a bitch just like a woman.
I would feel so comfortable, and it's like, I'm not even going to look at the road. I have total trust in you because I love you. And I just like grab her boobs.
Yeah, I like that imagery.
I'm with you, though. Yeah. Like, we're being protected by our women.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
good
nothing
point.
wrong with that. man, did JR even back here have a boner for Dr. Death Steve Williams?
Oh, absolutely.
When he gets in the ring, he's like just going nuts.
Dr. Death is the greatest, man.
Yeah.
How did he react to him getting knocked out in the brawl for all?
He was pissed.
Because he was selling him, and Dr. Death's
Yeah.
probably like, will you shut the hell up? This is real. All right, now I'm nervous.
I was surprised that there was no blood in this match. Not like all these WCW.
God, compared to all the other ones we watched. Holy crap.
I'm so used to them all being a bloodbath.
Watching
this match ends with Hawk doing a weird like neck crank on Garvin for the win.
boy, watching Jimmy Garvin dance was a lot of fun. He's like kind of quietly, he's like my sleeper member of the Freebirds. Like, I enjoy watching him dance. Like when they're just kind of standing before they walk out down the aisle, you know, he's like strutting his stuff and swinging his hips.
Yeah.
You know?
No, this was fun.
That hair?
The Survivor Series match was not fun. This was fun, and the crowd was behind everything that happened.
Oh my gosh.
They were going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say about the same. Wait, where was 87 held again? I would say about the same venue. I would say. Although the smaller venues, like you get that 4,000 seater, that sucker gets loud.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I totally would take War Games in this round.
No doubt. Yeah. My assessment is the WWF production value was much better. You know, like you have.
Yeah,
you
and
can see,
it's always better, but
I'm
the
just
match is
nitpicking
better.
here. Yeah, I know, but what are we talking about? Just the match or the overall experience? You know what I mean? Because NWA at the time, you could see the crane operator. Like, they were right ringside, and that's not good for anybody. That's not good for the crowd. That's not good for the people at home.
But they did, for the first time, have a camera inside the cage.
Yeah, that's true. Don't you notice the cameramen a lot more frequently in these early WCW, NWA broadcasts than WWF? But it's like, they're there.
There's no question that WWF is a professional company, and they do real professional production work. And WCW is just a bunch of hicks carrying cameras that doesn't try to improve any any aspect of their production in all of their years that they were in existence.
Right.
But I mean, match versus match.
This is a no-brainer.
Like, one was entertaining and one was boring.
Great pre-match promo at War Games. Great banter on the outside, especially Michael P.S. Hayes and Paul Heyman. The only thing I guess I liked was that Hogan was eliminated.
Yeah, I like that Jesse Ventura is always right about Hogan, that he's an egomaniac.
I know, it's crazy. Like, the way heels viewed Hogan then, heel commentators viewed him is right on, and that's how I feel about him now. We'll get to a part where he throws napalm on people.
I know.
Like, what a
ridiculous.
horrible
he
man.
He doesn't even try to not cheat.
So, winner with a neckbreaker, War Games scores the pinfall in the middle of the ring.
Okay.
All right, War Games up, 1-0.
So now we're going to Survivor Series 89. Rowdies.
Yeah, I always do that.
That's Roddy Piper, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and the Bushwhackers versus the Rude Brood. Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, and the fabulous Rougeau brothers.
And this is a 4-on-4 here. Do you prefer 5-on-5 or 4-on-4?
I prefer 5-on-5, but if the match is boring, I prefer 4-on-4 because it at least end faster.
Yeah, like in the Attitude or in the New Generation era where they're just throwing up crap. It's like at least they went 4-on-4 for the most part.
Yeah.
But a match like this, I could use a 5-on-5.
Yeah.
I like this match quite a bit. I like the chemistry between Roddy's. Is that just? I thought that was
hard.
already.
And even
how often do you say like just Roddy Piper? Say Roddy twice.
I say Roddy Piper.
I always
but
like get
saying
lazy with
Rowdies
Yeah,
because it
Roddy's
reverses
Rowdies.
Because I need to say Rowdy before Roddy,
Rude's
and so
Brood.
I can't say Rowdy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Roddy's
it was tripping up the commentary
Rude
team
Brood,
too.
Brood,
It's not
Rude
just
Brood,
us.
Rude
Rude
Brood.
Brood is easier to say.
Yeah, that's true.
We have Mr. Perfect in the midst of his perfect streak here.
Mr. Perfect puts on a clinic from bell to bell.
Yeah,
one of the all-time greats.
He's a star
right
of this show. He's with the Genius. I didn't like him with the Genius. How do you feel about their pairing?
I don't like...
He should have come in with Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Yeah, I guess so. I liked the lead-in promos quite a bit on both sides. I thought Roddy Piper just, hey, I can't stop him from eating.
Yeah.
That was funny. They're just gobbling up all
the
these
story of
turkey
his
legs
team.
and
It's
stuff.
him and a bunch of savages.
Yes,
they're
yes.
just disgusting savages.
And you have more of a traditional promo with Rude's Brood, but
Yeah.
every word that comes out of Mr. Perfect's mouth, like, Genius is just enamored. Like, he is in awe. Like, his eyes are locked on him. It's like he's looking at God, the second coming of Christ, So for the first time, I was like, oh, okay, I get the Genius, I guess. He never really did anything for me. I like the combo of him with the Beverly Brothers more than any other.
That was good. I like the Genius. I like the character. I just feel like he's unnecessary with Mr. Perfect.
Better than the Coach.
Yeah, the Coach was
awful.
just pathetic.
But, a lot. The argument is, why pair him with someone? He's good enough on his own. He's got pretty good mic skills, and Mr. Perfect did. He wasn't all that great on commentary, but he had excellent promo skills. But a pair is like when they can play off of each other.
Him and Bobby are the
him
perfect
and Bobby
pair.
are perfect pair because Bobby made people, something, but he also made good people better. Like, it's not like he's gonna make Mr. Perfect worse. And when you have a talent like that, throw a little pepper with the salt there into the mix. Then you got something. Then you have a creation that's amazing. Mm-hmm. I want to go back and watch all of Bobby Heenan and Mr. Perfect's promos. And then when they turned on when he poured the water over his head on Primetime Wrestling, because he abandoned Ric Flair. We'll get to him.
The Rougeau brothers, best entrance music ever.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Jimmy
no
Hart
doubt.
totally wrote that too.
Oh,
he wrote
for
a
sure.
lot of these
Yeah,
songs.
yeah,
That's
his,
our Jimmy Hart.
I think that's his
it.
best contribution to the biz.
We're
all American boys.
The synth keyboard.
All American boys. All Okay, I texted you and I was like, dude, not only are we getting the band back together, all right, but we're gonna cover wrestling entrance music exclusively. That's it. Can you imagine how fun that would be to play?
I'm sure we could book a gig at the WrestleMania host city every year, if anything.
It's about the love. All right, man. It's not about the dough. All right, because that shit will get to your head swear jar.
When you were a kid, were you scared of getting licked by the Bushwhackers? Because I was. I was like, I hope I don't run into a Bushwhacker because he might lick my head. And I don't want to get licked.
Let me tell you something.
That's kind of an assault, man.
Do you remember when the Arrowhead Pond hosted an all-tag team house show? There were all tag team matches, and they used clips from that show for the mid-'90s open of Superstars. I had great seats, Ran up right there to touch as many, to get that Lex Luger, real handshake, And it was Luke approached us. It was me and my buddy. And I was like, this can go one of two ways. And thankfully, we got the head. We rubbed the head. Oh. So he gave us his head. We gave us head, and we rubbed it. So I was like, this is better. And of course, I didn't hesitate at all. I was like, yeah! And I rubbed his buzz cut,
Yeah. But what if he
was
grabbed your head and started
he was doing that.
Man.
It's like, sometimes I wonder how my little kitty cat Lily feels when I grab her and just cram her into my face. Like, that must be the most horrifying experience for this poor animal, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were doing to these kids.
So I feel like a lot of these Survivor Series matches where you have tag teams in there, they're kind of formulaic because we always get rid of the tag teams first. And the Rougeaus, they make quick work of them. And then the Bushwhackers are next to go. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a running theme. Let's get rid of the tag teams first. Let's finish with our best singles people.
That's fine, though.
I also noticed that Rick Rude didn't really work a lot in this match. I'm wondering if he was hurt or something.
There's a lot going on with Rick Rude here. And where was Bobby Heenan? And they allude to that quite a bit, and there's no payoff. Maybe there is elsewhere in the pay-per-view, because this is just a mid-card.
And so Piper and Rude get double counted out and fight all the way to the back. Piper is the double count out king.
Oh,
He's always getting double count outs and fighting down the ramp to
Excellent
the back.
point.
So we're left with Perfect and Snuka.
And they have a decent match.
And yeah, they have a decent match, but the crowd is so like nobody's getting behind Snuka. I felt like they should have really rallied for him. Nobody was rallying for him. Everyone was sitting on their hands. And Perfect beat Snuka with the Perfect Plex, and then Snuka is a spoiled sport after and starts going after the genius.
I never liked Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, me neither.
As a kid, even, and it just shows like how long ago he got started. I mean, this is 89, and he's well past his prime here. And they just threw him in with Undertaker 2 years later for a total squash.
It's too bad it wasn't Piper versus Mr. Perfect at the end. I'd prefer that.
Yeah, well, the king of double countouts must oblige.
They probably didn't want to end Perfect's perfect streak, and Roddy Piper doesn't get pinned by anybody unless it's Bret Hart.
I guess so, but you could do that on a countout though.
Yeah,
Undertaker was counted out.
Yeah, he could have been counted out
in his first ever match, which happens to be a Survivor's. I wish we were going
that would
right
have been
into that right now.
He could have. Piper could have been knocked out of the ring, and then Rick Rude could have come out and like held him back, and then Perfect would get his perfect record to continue by the skin of his teeth.
All right, so we have 89 Survivor Series at 91. The Rosemont Horizon versus
Wrestle War 91.
Wrestle War 91.
We've got the team of Sid Vicious, Barry Windham, Ric Flair, and Larry Zbyszko versus Brian Pillman, Sting, and the Steiner Brothers. This match is the story of Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman was attacked.
Love it.
Prior to the match by Ric Flair and his stooges, and he is out for revenge. And he's like, put me in, coach. I want to go first. Yep. I am going to kick some ass.
I was in awe at Pillman's performance.
Oh, yeah. I'd say that's...
the entrance is great. Like, he just impulsively enters before... Like, his teammates didn't have a choice. Like, he was like, oh, I don't care. I'm not going third. I'm not going last. No, you're not. Your shoulder, man. You should go last. You shouldn't be in this match.
Yeah, and, his ego, his thirst for revenge was a downfall of this team.
And but unlike a rat escaping a cage, he is entering one.
So it's him and Wyndham first. They're just going at it. Wyndham gets busted open.
A lot of...
JR is like, he's lacerated. Wyndham is lacerated.
He cut his finger. He cut it.
And they do the bite.
Lacerated.
They do the spot where you bite the wound. I hate that.
Oh, Barry Windham did that.
I hate when people do that. Isn't that gross?
Made me vomit.
They would do that all the time, and it's like, I don't want to see that.
That speaks volume of what kind of person Barry Windham is.
Yeah,
sicko.
He was the stalker, man.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. The fans here get my vote. That's for sure.
Oh man, when Sting entered,
God,
you would think it was the second coming of Christ.
I wrote down the most useless note here. It says Sting is so over because it's like no duh.
He is. He goes in there and
noticed
he runs
it because
wild.
It's like unbelievable.
He was the perfect baby face at the time, man.
Absolutely.
Perfect baby face.
There's one dude in a red hat, like that totally buys into it, man.
Yeah.
Total kayfabe here, right? So because he's giving the heels like the finger. He's like, how could you?
Yeah.
Like how are we allowing this to happen? He's just like holding on a middle finger never mind.
Well, yeah, Sting's a hell of a baby face. I think JR, his commentary was so good. He was just really telling the story of Brian Pillman.
So intense.
Yeah, everything just felt so... Like, it was chaos in there.
Yeah.
Like, start to finish chaos. And I think that's a difference in WarGames and Survivor Series. Is Survivor Series, it's a match. It's a tag team match. There's going to be just some resting spots. WarGames is chaos, beginning to end. At least the early ones are.
As the years went on, too, the commentary deteriorated.
Oh, definitely.
Especially when like Bobby Heenan is, committing these cardinal sins. We're like, there's so much going on, you can't really tell what the heck's happening.
Yeah.
It's like what Tony Schiavone had to be like, what did you say? Like,
Yeah.
hello, this is the product here.
And JR kind of figures out, okay, this is what the story of the match is going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be Pillman's just thirst for revenge.
Yeah.
And I'm going to focus on this.
Absolutely.
I'm going to create a story out of this match. And that they stopped creating stories at a certain point.
Genius. You can really, like, truly appreciate his art form watching these old WCW NWA.
It was weird seeing Arn and Sid on the same team and being like conversing with each other outside, especially since they had the stabbing with scissors incident shortly after.
I know. That's true. Sid was so lousy in this.
Did you hear him call that spot?
Several times.
There was one where he's like, "Are you ready, brother?" to Rick Steiner.
It
He's
happened
like,
multiple
"All right,
times.
baby. Are you ready? Yes, you're ready? Okay, great. Now let's go."
Unreal. And when he enters, he hits Rick Steiner a little too hard. So the rest of the match, you could hear him saying, like, "Really, are you okay? Are you serious? Are you sure you're okay?"
Wow,
right in front of the camera.
So yeah, this was a 5-star match by Dave Meltzer, but because Sid is in it.
And the finish with El Gigante was weird. I almost thought it was a shoot, which I guess maybe was intended, but it only felt like a shoot because it was so awkward and forced.
But you got to take a full star off just for Sid's involvement. What? Sid just walked in.
Yeah,
Sid, he's pissed that we're talking. Oh
my
about him.
God! No.
Wait, what do you have to say to us, Sid?
But you know and I know that you're only half the man that I am. And I have half the brain that you do.
Well, at least we agree on something.
Hey, at least
we
you're
agree
honest.
on something.
All right, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right, Sid, you look great. God, these twinkle toes are just sneaking in here.
You ready for softball season?
Oh, yeah.
He shook his head yes. He shook his head yes.
I love your white shorts.
Yeah, so Pillman actually he was legit hospitalized after this match because
of a botched
the botched power bomb. Yeah,
several
Sid really hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and meanwhile, he's asking Rick Steiner if he's okay.
Hospitalized.
Like, are you okay, Rick?
Yeah.
Was that okay, Rick? Did I look cool, Rick?
Yeah.
Rick!
I only want to make sure the people that could legit kick my ass are okay.
Right.
And then this smaller guy, who cares? But you know, I'd still probably take. I know you liked the Survivor Series match, but
I did.
I liked WarGames better.
Okay, I am going to give the nod. I kind of have to think about this. If we're talking about wrestling here, I think Survivor Series was better in choreography, but WarGames was better in storytelling. But WCW put all their eggs in this basket while the Survivor Series was just another mid-level match on the card. So I'm going to give the nod to Survivor Series and the WWS production value in '89, which is full 2 years before this WarGames was recorded. And you know what? I'm a hot rod guy.
How do we
I'm
solve
always
this?
going with Roddy Piper. Did you not listen to the rules? Rule number 3, pal. Coin toss. Call it.
I'm calling it?
Yeah.
So
I'll use a quarter for my swear jar.
If
I'll put it
I
back.
call it-
I'll put it back.
then WarGames wins.
Okay.
Let's go. Flip. Tails.
Heads it is. Can we get a close-up on this here? Not cheat. I wouldn't cheat. Cheating
No,
here is
I
like
trust
cheating
you.
in Clue. Like, what's the
I trust
point?
you.
Okay.
So
we are knotted at one.
Due to the coin toss, Survivor Series takes it.
Yes.
Damn.
Match number 3. The 1990 Survivor Series was held at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut, and included a 3.5-star match, according to that lion son of a bitch Meltzer, between the $1 Million Team, Rhythm and Blues, Ted DiBiase, and The Undertaker, versus the Dream Team, Dusty Rhodes, Coco Beware, and the Hart Foundation. This match is the friggin' debut of The Undertaker, bro.
Yeah.
Okay?
This was an important
Hard
match.
to top that. Well, we will square this match off against perhaps the greatest match in WCW history.
Yeah.
From the Jacksonville Memorial Coliseum in Jacksonville, Florida, WrestleWar 92's War Games pitted Sting Squadron, Sting, Barry Windham, Dustin Rhodes, Ricky Steamboat, and Nikita Koloff versus the Dangerous Alliance. Steve Austin, Rick Rude, Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, and Larry Zbyszko, with Paulie Dangerously and Medusa in their corner.
The Survivor Series match meant a lot to me. As
too.
a child, this is where I became a Bret Hart fan, from this match.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I watched this, I just, like, his performance, like, he was just taking so much of the offense. He was really the leader of this team.
Now, was it because of his work with DiBiase? Did you also have it?
Yeah, I would, but I mean, I liked him because of his glasses, but then this made me solidified that this guy is my favorite wrestler. I'm a Bret Hart fan, and it happened in 1990.
How about that? And what happens? He puts Ted DiBiase over. He loses cleanly in the ring. Great.
And he says, fuck. Did you notice that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
He says,
that's why you liked it as a little kid. You're like, he's the fuck.
Yeah, you totally see him say fuck after he gets pinned.
I believe there was a controversy with the Tombstone Piledriver that Undertaker delivers on Coco Beware. And I might just be thinking that because it looked painful.
Yeah, he used to really spike people.
Yeah, and we've heard that with Survivor Series 91.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan said that he spiked him.
Boy, the Bookers knew what they had with The Undertaker, man. What an incredible debut.
Yeah.
I've seen that moment hundreds and hundreds of times.
Look at the ham hock.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Look at the size of that ham hock. And the importance of commentary. Because Roddy Piper was just selling the bejesus out
Definitely, of his size. But I also don't like Roddy Piper on commentary because I don't like an all babyface commentary team. And he just sucks the dicks of the babyface.
Well, yeah, he would have been paired much
heels.
better with a heel.
Yeah.
But him and like Jesse Ventura would be awesome. And then just them. No, we need.
But then there'd be no professionalism at all.
It would end with like, all right, I'm not going to say anything then.
Yeah, I don't remember them talking about how Bret's brother Dean had just died, and he dedicated his performance to his brother. Gosh. That was pretty touching.
Hearts are like the Kennedys, man.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes looked fat as fuck. Oh, wait, Scott, you're back.
Oh, boy.
Wait, what do you think of
You
Dusty
just
Rhodes?
lock the door.
Fat asses!
Man, you offer so much. Thank you, sir.
That's all he ever says now.
Yeah. I think he might have had a stroke.
Scott, do you want some water?
Yeah. So we got the count out spot with Undertaker. Keep him strong. Get him out of
And
the
there
match.
you go. Rules are rules. We didn't know it was going to be a winning streak. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it doesn't count. That was his first match. Oh, no, it was an undefeated streak. Never mind. So it didn't count. And plus, it's a gimmick match.
Yeah.
What was the closest that Tatanka came? Like,
Did
he ever lose in an elimination type of match?
I'm not sure. We'll have to research this at another time.
I don't know why to me, that's like the most iconic winning streak of all time, Tatanka.
It was one of the first ones I paid attention to.
I really, this is a special match for me.
Yeah, me too.
As well. But this is going up against
one of the
Magic.
greatest matches I've ever seen. So
yes,
yeah.
This is like figures. We're doing a chronological proximity here. Rules are rules. This is like not only the toughest decision of the 5, but of my entire life.
I kind of thought that we were going to have to come to blows over this decision.
We won't because we're both torn. So ultimately, whichever wins, I think it's a painful. It's a painful realization and answer. Now,
all right, let's go to War Games. Tony Schiavone's hair, man. His like surfer bro, dirty blonde hair.
This was my favorite era of Tony, no doubt.
Even though he didn't get to really give commentary.
Well, no, fine.
Relegated to glorified rule reader.
I kind of like that though. I like that it's like kind of like how the NFL does it. We got our field correspondents, and then we got hosts.
Yeah,
these are our hosts. I like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that too.
Man, I forgot how agile Austin was.
Yeah.
in WCW.
Another great strategy session with Paulie.
Mm-hmm.
And then Steve Austin and Barry Windham started out, and Austin puts on a clinic. He's the star of this match, in my opinion.
No doubt. Do you know, briefly, humor me here, what Ventura meant when he, like, Ricky Steamboat comes in and he says something like, oh, he's probably yelling for every girlfriend he has here in the arena. Like, was there a story that leaked of infidelity or something like that around this time? Not like it's any of my business.
I don't know, but I mean, he
and then JR was like, knock it off.
An attractive dude.
JR was like, knock it.
That's kind of the way I took it. I was like, he's an
see.
attractive dude. He's probably out. He's probably a bad dude that's just in it for the chicks.
I thought it was like, that's just alleged, Jesse.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
I think Jesse was calling his integrity into question, but it was unfounded. That's kind of the way I took it.
Yeah, Austin was the highlight. Oh, Sting and Medusa going on top of the cage. That's some next level Hell in a Cell type stuff right there.
It's funny that the heels always win the coin toss, by the way. That
Medusa,
must be why you won this last coin toss.
Oh, God, here we go. Medusa never looked better.
Oh, she looked amazing.
You're still smiling. You're so proud of that joke. You're still smiling.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your shirt say?
It's a Jeff Rosenstock shirt. His
Who the hell is
most
that?
recent album is called Worry. Check it out.
You want people to know that you're into really cool, obscure music? Is that what you're...
I think you should really listen to it because you might like it.
I will listen to it on the way
It was actually
home.
my favorite album of last year.
Oh, cool.
He's incredible.
Thanks for the recommendation.
He's incredible. Punk rock Billy Joel.
Nice. Ooh, nice combo. Such a fast pace, nary a dull moment here. Everyone gets color. Everyone.
Yeah.
I've never seen more face rakes.
Everyone. You have hepatitis. You have hepatitis.
Unbelievable.
You get hepatitis.
More biting, more blood biting. Wyndham bites Austin right on the wound.
Steamboat just, when he gets in there, have you ever seen someone just with so much fire and intensity as he had? And the crowd was just going apeshit for him. And then you got Steamboat and Sting. Steamboat and Sting have like the two biggest, like the best babyface fire-ups ever in the business.
You notice about... I love the leaping over both ropes spot. I love that.
Yeah.
Everything that wasn't very, perfect or smooth worked. Because like any kind of missed spot here, nothing was terribly botched.
Yeah.
And things that got a little cluttered, like it works because there's just bodies everywhere.
It's chaos.
It's chaos. So it looked so if the point of wrestling is to completely, remove yourself and buy into it, completely suspend your disbelief. I was watching this match for 25 minutes, perfect length as well.
Yeah.
Thinking this was a war, forgetting what professional wrestling is, forgetting it's fake, forgetting it's choreographed. This was a brawl.
Yeah. Did you notice the spot where Dustin Rhodes comes in, and he looked great too? Yeah. He does an atomic drop to Steve Austin and just smashes the top of his head on the top of the cage.
There you go. It's the perfect height for the cage because it hinders you. It's an obstruction. It's getting in the way of your normal game plan. You can't just, do your 450 splash off the top rope, Mark Marrow.
What's the deal with Larry Zbyszko's ass?
Fat asses!
Scott.
It's huge.
Give it a rest, Scott.
It was huge.
But
Look
the
at
thing is,
those
like,
trunks, man.
He's been so polite, though. And then he just has these random
and then he comes
flashes
in and you talk about someone's ass. And
he just does not like overweight people.
Yeah. And so apparently Bobby Eaton was legit hurt. And so this was with his shoulder injury. So this was his way to get out of the company.
Oh, okay.
That's why he came in basically
they sold
last,
that shoulder.
And he didn't do much, and then they did the shoulder spot.
Yeah.
But of course, the WCW camera person was not shooting. They were shooting Sting and Zbyszko, and they didn't really shoot Eaton holding Sting.
They were shooting him at the wrong time as well, because good on Eaton and like his ring awareness, because the prop, the base of the turnbuckle, had unscrewed itself and been removed. The camera is right on him, close up, as he's screwing the damn thing back in to make the prop, you know? That's the shot they get.
Yeah. It's a great match. I totally would take this over the Survivor Series, even though it'd be tough.
I like that they. Oh, really? I like that they ganged up on Zbyszko too at the end. Like,
oh,
Zbyszko,
yeah.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's amazing that you said that. Say it again. How do you feel?
Taken WarGames.
Wow.
It was a better match. I was more entertained. Although the other one was iconic and has sentimental value to me, I cannot, in good conscience, not pick WarGames. It's the better piece of art of the two.
Despite Taker's debut, WarGames and these 10 phenomenal performances kicked out of the tombstone and caught him off guard with a small package for the win. I, too, give this to WarGames. WarGames is now up 2-1.
All right. And so for round 4, we're going to Survivor Series 95, the wild card match. This is Yokozuna, Owen Hart, Dean Douglas, and Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, the British Bulldog, and Sid. Sid's back. And he's stinking up the joint again.
Oh,
sorry,
God.
Sid.
Damn right he is.
So
I bet he's a nice guy.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
He doesn't say much when he's here.
Yeah.
Other than
just talks about his intellect.
Yeah.
Vince once again creams his pants over Shawn Michaels like JR would cream his pants over Dr. Death Steve Williams. Just Shawn Michaels comes out and he's like, "Oh God! Oh my God! That's the most charismatic."
Vince, I got an idea for a spot here. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah, okay. I knew you'd like it.
Shawn and Owen start. Wonderful chemistry. Whenever Owen or Shawn Michaels are in the ring together, magic.
Yeah. This is no doubt my least favorite Shawn Michaels era, I'd say. But my goodness, there's no denying how much women and children loved him.
Oh, yeah. And he carries this whole match. This is the Shawn Michaels show. He's basically got the most in-ring time out of anybody.
Yeah, he carries the whole thing.
Yeah.
The spot where he inadvertently kicks his teammate. Who was it? I can't even remember. Anyway. Does it matter? I'm looking it up. I'm derailing our train of thought by looking it up.
He gives Sid the sweet chin music.
It was Sid. Yeah, and then he's like, "Nah, I don't care. Whatever."
Yeah.
So even when he's not really that involved in the match, he's stealing the show.
Yeah. And British Bulldog is weirdly a heel here, and I'm trying to piece together why.
I remember this period where Jim Cornette had the faction Yokozuna, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and I like the idea that he has team members on each side. Yeah. What is the wild card? What was Gorilla Monsoon thinking with this wild card idea? Heels and faces on the same team?
Yeah, I was back in the day, back in 1995, I was really questioning Gorilla Monsoon's judgment. I'm like, why do we have this guy as our president?
This man is crazy. He's making irrational decisions.
It's a 60-minute Iron Man match. 60 minutes are up, the match is over. Overtime? What?
Rules are rules. Oh, don't get me started on WrestleMania 12, dude. I was screaming at the television.
Yeah. So this is kind of the let's make Ahmed Johnson a star match.
Yeah, I thought he and Shawn
slams
Michaels
Yokozuna.
Had pretty good chemistry together.
Yeah.
I love the body slam. I'm like, this is something only Lex Luger can do, and it has to be on the USS Missouri, man. This has to be on a battleship.
Yeah. And so Bulldog Michaels and Ahmed Johnson end up being the sole survivors, even though Bulldog is not really on their side.
You know what
So it's really the Michaels and Ahmed Johnson show.
Yeah, it is. But also Razor and Shawn got to put their shit in. I prefer their matches with a ladder, though, of course. But excellent little mini singles match between the two.
Yeah.
Don't you? What are your thoughts when Shawn Michaels has done this a million times, where he's got to do battle against like a face or a friend or an old rival, and does that look like, well, here we go again? Okay, I guess. Well, it's bound to happen.
He's got a mug.
Yeah. Is that a good mug or a bad mug? Is that
I think it's a bad mug.
I don't. Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah, the best, in my opinion, the best Shawn Michaels was the D-Generation X Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels.
no doubt.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
that's when he was really himself, a real piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah, and it worked because it was real.
Yeah.
But when you see him perform and Razor, quite frankly, with other and Owen, I mean, there's some crazy talent here. All right, but like next to Sid, or Lex Luger, not in this match, but you know what I mean. It just showcases what incredible performers they are. And seriously, like, I'll never knock Shawn Michaels overall, because if that's the trade-off, like his attitude for what we witness him when he's performing, of him, like, he's silk. No doubt is he a better, I'm saying it, in-ring performer than Bret Hart. Oh, God.
Oh, I can't believe you said that.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is the new mic? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. You fucking cunt shit, motherfucker. There. That's better. Fuck that shit. Fuck Shawn Michaels, too.
Oh, okay.
Better in-ring performer. What the hell are you talking about, Ryan? You don't know shit. How many was that? 4?
Probably
3 and 4.
So this goes up against Fall Brawl 95.
Fall Brawl 95.
The Hulkamaniacs, Hulk Hogan, Sting, Macho Man, and Lex Luger versus the Dungeon of Doom, the Shark, the Zodiac, Kamala, and Meng. Holy mackerel. Yeah. Hulk Hogan joins WCW and takes something that was once great and injects poison into it, rendering it unwatchable.
Kind of like TNA, huh? Okay, wait,
the fans don't give a shit.
Let me get this.
They used to love WarGames. They used to just go crazy. Now they don't care.
From the best to the worst, literally, overnight.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst match WCW's ever produced, and there's a lot of stinkers out there. I think this is worse than Hogan Warriors Halloween Havoc 98.
Really?
Because at least there was like, this is the part where they botched the fireball part. It's like
at least that was fun.
Yeah, I look forward to.
Yeah, there's nothing fun about this.
Well, let me get this straight here.
Sting is trying here.
Zodiac's from Yin and Yang, right? Shark is from the Great Barrier Reef, and Ticketmaster is that his name? I can't stand. He's from the Iron Gates of Faith. I'm gonna get my quarter handy. Fuck Kevin Sullivan. Yeah. I can't watch anything with. Has the Dungeon of Doom ever done anything worth watching?
It's just bad. It's just horribly bad.
Am I missing it though? Like, is there something worth watching?
No.
All these vignettes are.
It's just a bunch of losers.
It
makes
with
no sense.
Awfully produced, and you know what? It's it's not his fault. He didn't write it. Yeah, he did. He booked all this crap.
This is his idea.
If like my.
Why couldn't this just be the Hulkamaniacs versus the Four Horsemen?
I don't know.
That'd be more entertaining.
What the heck is going on?
Or like Vader and a bunch of other, like Vader, Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
And some other heels.
And they took a lot of airtime. They were the A story for like a year. 2 years. And then when the Giant gets involved, those stupid vignettes in the cave with the smoke. Like, if my niece did that for like, a first grade like Halloween assignment, I'd be like, you could do better.
Yeah,
right? You need to apply yourself a little more than this, okay?
And why wasn't the Giant on the team? Like, he's definitely the best guy you have in the Dungeon of Doom. And you're not going to put him in the match?
I feel like we could put on a better match than this.
Oh,
like if we just, and Chris, Tyler, like we just take on the wives.
Sting couldn't save this. He was once a mighty baby face. It's all dead.
And what the heck's going on with
him and Macho Man were like the two stars of this. Brutus is lucky to be there, and he should just be thanking Hulk Hogan for giving him all the work that he got over the years.
Well, he ain't thanking him now, is he?
Yeah, they're having this feud, but I'm on Hulk Hogan's side.
Yeah,
man.
me too.
Fuck Brutus.
Watching these matches, I really appreciate Hulk Hogan as a performer. His promos, like just super jacked up, but he can formulate a complete thought and they give him room to breathe. Like he there's a whole narrative when he's like, something, and he's telling a story, and then you're going to do this, and I'm going to, and all the guys out there, and respect and power and passion in America, and warriors and heroes.
And then what does he do? The first thing he does when he enters a cage is he throws napalm in every single person's face. He cheats.
Unbelievable.
The heels didn't cheat.
Napalm. I mean, you could use salt. It's got to be an explosive device.
Yeah, the heels didn't cheat at all. He's the one that cheated.
Yeah, and another, I hate to say this because he's the all-time great, but, Heenan's just phoning it in here.
Yeah, well, I mean, how could you not?
How could you not? It's not his fault. And he kept, what I liked is that, like, he kept forgetting Zodiac's name, and I hope that was intentional, and I bet it was. How could anyone get excited for this?
How
did Shivani do it?
It was hard for me to get through this.
Even like, towards the end where Hogan's the last to come in, and, the beauty of WarGames is the cheering section. Like you're next to come in, and he's just like he's at a softball game, just like, come on, guys, let's go.
Yeah.
Just deflated. Everything about this was deflated.
And it was so dumb that they took away people's entrance music, too, for this generic WarGames music.
And reverse chinlock gets it all done.
I'm taking the Survivor Series wild card match.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Oh, and
so we're tied,
the
right?
Production, we're 2-2. The production couldn't hire enough, like, talent to pose as security guards to, like, to hold Kevin Sullivan back from going backstage. It was just like one scrawny guy like, no, come on, you can't go back there yet. You're supposed to wrestle Hulk Hogan now.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Go to hell. All right?
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I thought you were giving me the judgy eyes. Like, yeah, great point, Mike.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're so paranoid.
I need to go to Lens Crafters. That's all.
God. Okay, final round. Round 5. We're tied up. And, man.
Well, here, I wrote a little something about my assessment, if you'd like to.
Okay.
Because Razor and Sean had a great match, I thought Ahmed and Sean had good chemistry, liked the idea of mixing heels and faces, and I didn't like anything about the WarGames match. Survivor Series wins with a Pearl River plunge. Our 5th and final match, the main event of Survivor Series 2001 from Greensboro Coliseum, was Team WWF, Chris Jericho, Big Show, Kane, The Rock, and The Undertaker versus The Alliance. Booker T, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Shane McMahon, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This 4.5-star rated match will face off against WarGames from Fall Brawl 98 at the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It saw Team WCW versus Team Hollywood NWO versus Team Wolfpack, which is DDP Piper Warrior versus Nash Luger Sting versus Hogan Stevie Ray Hitman. Meltzer gave this 4 stars for some reason.
So that's I didn't realize I misread it. He gave this negative 4 stars.
Oh, okay. I was like,
yeah, I was watching it too, and I was like, this is 4 stars. And then I looked it up again, and I'm like, oh,
wow,
negative 4 stars.
Isn't that funny how that does something to like your perception? Because I was like,
man,
okay, what am I missing though? Then
it was horrible.
Yeah,
it was just downright horrible.
So should we start with the WarGames? Switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, let's start with WarGames.
The rules,
so tons of rule changes
were revised. Yeah, there's no match beyond either. So a pinfall and there's pinfalls and submissions.
Why are there teams?
Because it's and despite all these convoluted rules, of when one team enters, and then the coin toss determines which team gets to choose, and who enters when, and then they alternate. They don't alternate this time. But it's every man for himself.
Yeah, this is for a title
every
shot.
Man for himself. So what's
this was the Royal Rumble in a cage.
Yeah. Awful.
It was so, and it had the stalling that you get in Royal Rumble. Just people just doing random spots, nothing happening. Bret Hart looked like a zombie out there. He could give less of a shit, and rightfully so.
I thought DDP and Bret Hart had a good 5 minutes.
They were the two.
They had a good 5 minutes.
Best
the highlight was the
in
open,
there.
the 5 minute.
I mean, Sting popped the crowd. Do you know who was most over out of everybody that surprised me? It was Kevin Nash.
Oh, no doubt.
People were going nuts for him.
Everyone
calling him Big Sexy.
I totally forgot about of course I remember the Red Wolfpack NWO, but this whole split where we're actually like Sting joined, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember
But I remember him having the red face paint though.
Yeah, the Wolfpack was Luger, Nash, and Sting.
Right.
And Conan.
So you can't really say that Sting never joined the NWO.
Yeah, you can't.
Because he
joined
did.
The NWO.
And it was red.
Wolfpack. Yeah.
Stupid.
And Hogan, once again, comes in and cheats and takes everyone out with a slapjack.
I know.
He just walks in with his slapjack and just hits everybody, much
We've
like he
gone
did
from
with his napalm
to
a slapjack.
to the worst foreign object in the history. This floppy little like ruler.
Yeah. And he gets scared by the Warrior and his smoke machine and runs away.
That made no sense.
He's like, I don't need a title shot. I'm too scared of the Warrior.
He's about to go for the pin. Smoke clears the ring. Timing was appalling. We won't even bother talking about that. Everything about nothing was on time here. Everything like it was as if it started like 30 seconds off or something like that. You know. Okay, let me talk about Bret Hart a little bit. One thing I'll give him in WCW, his gear. There's more black in his WCW gear.
Okay.
That's all.
You'll give him that?
I'll give him that.
What could have saved him in WCW? What would have been the correct booking? That's the $1 million question.
I think
they should have really talked about the screw job more.
Yeah, and they lost sight of that pretty quickly after his first promo breaking into the company. But if you maintain that level of heat he had for that opening in-ring promo, then you got something. Then you got a pretty cool heel. I think maybe if they would have focused him as like the elite of the underclassmen, so just completely remove him from your Lex Lugers and your Hulk Hogans and your Macho Mans, let them do your thing. Give him this department and have him thrive, with the cruiserweight weights.
Put him in a match with a program with Chris Jericho.
There you go.
Yeah, I would have even maybe he could have been a horseman. Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Dean Malenko, and Chris Benoit. You'd fit in. They're all just great workers.
I have nothing. I don't want to talk about the Ultimate Warrior. Really, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, the Hogan tries to lock him in the cage, but then he rips the fence off. But
that was actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, they barely show that though.
Yeah,
like I kind of missed it. I had to rewind it.
It's a bad production value. Everything about this is bad.
DDP just randomly hits the diamond cutter on Stevie Ray for the win, and he faces Goldberg at Halloween Havoc, a match that went off the air before the finish. And they had to show it the next night for free on Nitro.
Yeah. -4 stars.
-4. Yeah.
And we're going into this thinking it's a highly revered match.
I could have totally changed the tide of this this competition.
If you would have just read.
If I would have properly read the star ratings.
Such is life, man.
Yeah. And if only I would have won that coin toss. WarGames could have still won this, but there's no way that match is better than Survivor Series 01.
No doubt.
WWF team versus the Alliance.
Now, this is the last match of the 10 that we watched. So I got to say, my energy level was already pretty low. And upon seeing that, the first WarGames I thought was the main event that we saw in 89. Wait, what year was that? 89? So I was like, okay, push play. Crap, 58 minutes left in the pay-per-view. Wasn't the main event. There was another match after. They're like, oh, thank God. It is the perfect 22 minutes in length. Yeah. This match was an hour.
This is a long match.
It was an hour. If we're including the opening, win this one for the Gipper speech that Vince delivers with his team, which, oh, man, seeing those 5 guys, though, in one room is incredible.
Yeah, and that Undertaker speech by Vince.
It was great.
But he's an Oscar-level winning performance.
But I was like, okay, cool. One more, and then I'm done. Finally. God, my neighbors think I'm... Anyway. And I was a little deflated upon, okay, this is like an hour-long production here. But I was enraptured, to say the least.
I think I spaced these out enough. I kind of watch like 2 a day So when I watched this, I had the energy for it.
Yeah.
And it was an action-packed showdown.
Yeah, the thing
And
is
there
knowing
was
what
a lot on the line here.
knowing what it's up against, though, you know, like.
If the Alliance were to have won this, WWF would be no more.
Yep.
Yeah, there was so much on the line.
Why not just flat out call the Alliance WCW? I don't get it.
Because it was the alliance of WCW and ECW.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Stephanie owned ECW and Shane owned WCW.
This is
and
literally
they came together.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember that. This is literally when I stopped. So I'd missed this. I was not watching at all.
I watched
at this part.
I kind of stopped like 2002, I think, but I definitely wasn't religiously watching at this point.
Yeah, it was this year,
but
2001.
I would still, like, if I was home on Monday night, I'd still watch Raw.
Or earlier, 2000 or 2001.
But this one had so much action, just tons of high
Shane's
spots.
a great heel, and Stephanie, because
he got a
I
lot
was
of heat
so
from the crowd.
Annoyed by him, just breaking up every count.
Yeah, it's like, come on, Shane.
I was
get this.
like, you know, like
you're the reason why this match is an hour long.
Like a single mom that like punches an actor in a soap opera because he's such a dick. Like that's how I felt, and it's like, okay, bravo, good job. And I loved. I think I had a swear word in there somewhere, and I loved just Team WWF, like just taking turns with putting their finisher on them too to finish the job. You know,
and Big Show comes in there. He looks so motivated and great. I was like, dang, this is the best he's looked. And then I was like, oh, he looks like this because he's going to be the first to get eliminated. And so Big Show ends up taking. He takes an angle slam, a spinneroonie, a 5-star frog splash, and then a top rope elbow from Shane to be the first eliminated. And then Shane goes on to take a bunch of finishers to get eliminated.
The hell was up with Steve Austin's music in this match?
I think it was supposed to be the Disturbed version of his song, but they probably didn't want to pay the licensing. So
they got Limp Bizkit in there with the Undertaker.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is.
They've got Undertaker, but they don't use Austin's.
Like, you know,
maybe Disturbed wanted more money than Limp Bizkit. I don't know.
Like, you know, when you watch Married with Children on DVD or on Netflix and they don't have the rights to that song, it's just like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, I know. I need the song.
You gotta have the song, man.
Yeah.
It's like that Chicago fountain doesn't do that.
Yeah, how the hell do I know I'm watching Married with Children
what is
if
this?
I don't hear the song?
I don't know what this is. I'm freaking out. I'm turning it off.
Yeah.
This is a great storytelling. And it starts with Rock and Austin. The Rock and Austin! The Rock and Austin!
Yeah.
I mean, how many...
And it ends with
how many variations of moments in matches that they've had, like same spots, you know,
and this
same
is one
moves,
of their
and it's always compelling.
Yeah, this is one of their highest stakes matches.
Yeah, they get a lot of time. They're given a lot of room to work.
Yeah, and The Rock puts Kurt Angle in the sharpshooter, and Angle taps. Yep. And that was the best sharpshooter The Rock's ever done.
Oh, yeah.
Later in the match, he puts Austin in it, and it looks like shit.
Yeah, why
it was like, why can't you do what you did to Kurt Angle every time?
Because Kurt Angle was willing to bend.
I get, okay, maybe Austin's back.
Yeah, because he would go back. Yeah, that was a great.
But I mean, he took.
I mean, Scorpion Deathlock, like, you know, he's taking care of his boy. But then again, Bret Hart takes pride in never injuring another wrestler.
Yeah.
Or hurting.
It's just, you know, a nice little back bend. It's probably good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I always think that, like, you ever go to Medieval Times, that torture rack they have there? I always thought, like, the first notch would probably feel pretty good. It's like stretching your back out a little, like, all right. Yeah. Oh, okay, stop. Oh, God. Yeah. Really enjoyed the swerves, 2 double crosses.
Yeah, Jericho double crosses The Rock.
Great match. This is a 5-star match.
WWF wins,
which means Survivor Series.
The pin with the rock bottom.
Oh, I thought you meant in our little.
Oh yeah, and they win. So we're gonna have to watch Survivor Series now. I would have much preferred to watch WarGames if I was.
Me too.
To be honest with you,
I'd rather listen to us watch WarGames too.
Yeah, but.
Don't bother listening to our Survivor Series Big Four special.
You shouldn't have picked that Roddy Piper, Jimmy Snuka, Mr. Perfect match, and we could have watched WarGames. You know that War Games with Brian Pillman was better than that match.
No, it wasn't.
It was better. Had more drama.
I'm not going to retract if that's what you're trying to get me to do.
I'm not getting you to retract. WWE wins fair and square.
I'm
per
not
the rules.
I mean, that's how I had it here. This is my card right here. And I'm like reading it back and I'm like, shit. Like, because, if we watch War Games, then it'd be on a Saturday.
It would have been so much more fun.
We can get our girls involved.
But,
and they'll just be like, gosh, I don't.
But fun and you.
Once again, Mike squanders a good time.
Okay, let's get right into it. Nature Boy, ESPN, 30 for 30.
Yes.
First, I want to say
film number 33 of 5,162.
I'd like to say fuck ESPN.
Why?
I hate ESPN. I hate their app.
Oh, yeah. App sucks.
There's so much buffering
I
going
learned
on when
this,
I was trying to watch this.
This is what I learned the hard way when you had asked me to watch the XFL 30 for 30 in preparation for a podcast. I was like, oh, okay, well, I got the app. So, I'll just watch it in the archives. They don't release it in the archives. The only 30 for 30s, they have like a very small selection of...
They're dinosaurs is what they are. But
Yeah,
they're like, compare them to any other
But their
streaming...
30 for 30 selection is like the Bo Jackson one, and then something about like the baddest guy in bowling. It's like the worst selection. And I was like, frick.
Yeah, I actually
So my lady was
watched
nice enough to actually subscribe to Sling TV just for the free trial.
Wow.
Canceled it right there. Sling sucks.
I watched...
Sorry, Sling.
I watched it on Tuesday live on the ESPN app, and it was buffering so much.
Oh, really?
It was so frustrating, but I managed to get through it.
Yeah.
Story. It's basically the story of his life. Maybe I knew and forgot that he was adopted.
I didn't know that.
The story of him and his parents is just very compelling.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if it's like the music they chose, these beautiful, solemn piano chords, but I was on the verge of crying the entire hour and 22 minutes, man.
I definitely cried by the end.
Yeah. It's like this man was so full of life, and that part of his life is now gone, and now he's
his
just
life
left to reflect.
Kind of tragic in a way because he put all his eggs in one basket.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I guess maybe that's why you should like love and cherish your family, because if you put everything into your job, that's not forever.
Well, and that's
your family can be if you
goes
put
to
the
show
work
you.
in.
I mean, but that's just how important being present is. He was abandoned by his parents. His foster parents were distant and cold. So he never had that love. So it's like, I had this void, so you'll be fine. You're tough.
Yeah,
you guys are tough. You'll be fine. I'll buy you toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And yet, now compare that to his community, the boys. He would put them over. That was what he thrived on, sacrificing himself to make the other person look good. He was always there for them.
Yeah.
The brotherhood was so strong, and that was the love that he needed. Whereas he'd miss his daughter's graduation, because I guess he just didn't need it. And of course, these guys are on the road all the time, but it seems like when he was home, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't present. And seeing him now reflecting on that, and like just what a huge mistake it was, and just that despair in his eyes.
Yeah.
Really powerful stuff.
It makes me think of that Johnny Cash Hurt video. It's just like an old broken down man just reflecting on his life.
When you,
Old man, look at my life.
Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. Oh, God,
Man,
Ryan.
He was so huge before the plane crash.
We're all going to die. I know. I hardly recognizable.
Yeah, and that plane crash changed his life.
Yeah, it did.
That's like so interesting that it took a plane crash for him to become who he became.
Yeah, he created this persona to give him motivation to get back in shape.
Yeah. Like, what would have happened if Buddy Holly survived his plane crash? Would he have become like the Beatles?
He'd be the baddest
one-man
motherfucker on
Beatles?
the planet. He'd be Donovan. All right. 10,000 women? You believe it?
No, hell no.
Yeah, that's a lot. I was doing the math. Like, we're thinking that's like 4 a day.
Maybe 2,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, there were 2 interviews here, like 8 months apart, and even in that short time, his change in personality and character and demeanor between interview number 1 and interview number 2 was amazing.
And interview number 2 was just prior to him almost dying.
I know, and he was like just more compassionate and warm and apologetic, whereas in the first interview, he's, I'm Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm a gift for you to be here.
And one statement, I forgot who said it, or maybe he's the one that said it, that he got so good that it became a disease.
Oh, God.
That's interesting.
How about this for interesting? I thought Shawn Michaels came across excellently in this.
He had a lot to, because he probably saw himself.
Absolutely. And
when he was going down that road, and then he found the Lord.
When he said, he
realized what he needed to do.
Ric Flair is just a myth. Ric Flair, that's the real person.
Yeah.
And yet his name is Michael Hickenbottom.
Yeah. He was becoming Shawn Michaels, and he had to find Michael Hickenbottom and learn to love him. And that's something that Ric Flair never did.
I bet he is a delightful man to be around. Just a delight. These are...
do you know what I really hated?
These futons are very comfortable.
Maria Menounos was involved. Why are we asking her? Why?
I have another question.
Why?
Why do we hate her? Let's really boil this down, because I had that same reaction. I was like, oh, fuck her. Sorry. She loves the business. She's intelligent.
She's just she's an entertainment host.
And something about the way she talks. I don't know what it is.
I don't think just because she was involved in a WrestleMania angle doesn't mean that we need to listen to her about it. I mean, if we're involving females, you had Michelle Beadle,
right,
a sports journalist. You had Baby Doll. You had his first wife. We have a female perspective. She offered absolutely nothing except a name.
Baby Doll's perspective was brilliant. About him and Dusty Rhodes feud in NWA, and
just let's bring
how,
in
people just
Medusa.
Believed.
Let's interview Fifi the maid, his fiance. And there's people that weren't in this that I'm sure could have offered more insight than Maria Menounos. I mean, we've got no Vince, we've got no Dave Meltzer, we've got no Eric Bischoff. We got
Tony Schiavone.
Bret Hart. We did get Tony Schiavone. So that.
But we have no Bruce Pritchard.
Of any critiques, that'd be my first.
She was in there very briefly.
Yeah, very
just
briefly.
One blurb.
But still, she didn't need to be in there. It was nice seeing Taker.
Oh yeah, he
out
just
of character.
Seemed like such a friendly guy.
Yeah. It's like
he must be so comfortable right now.
I'd rather see that guy at WrestleMania than him in the outfit with his balding head and his gut.
Why can't
he wear that outfit?
He should come back as like the laid back retired guy. He'd be like the dude.
Or he
just comes out like a robe and flip flops.
I'd be fine with him going back to Biker Taker, because that's more close to who he actually is, and it's almost for me kind of sad at this point seeing him in the traditional Taker garb.
Yeah. No, this is great. He never looked better.
Yeah,
He's just relaxed.
Yeah.
He probably just got done surfing.
Yeah. I felt that Sting had really put into perspective what Ric Flair did for him.
Yeah.
Like how he made him and how unselfish he is in the ring.
He was the most honest. I think maybe, Triple H and he were the most honest.
Yeah.
Like everything out of their mouth wasn't complimentary.
I love that Triple H was fine saying that he's a liar.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, and same with his ex-wife. She was like, "Don't trust him."
And you can only say that if you are legitimately one of his best friends.
Yeah.
So, that was validation. And Sting wasn't overwhelmingly positive either. Like he was basically saying like he would oversell. He would oversell. It was a little bit. We're talking about test of strength here, and it's like I'm about ready to break his neck.
But he made the reason why we saw those huge pops for Sting is because of what the matches he had with Ric Flair.
Oh, absolutely.
If they'd never had those matches, people would probably not care about Sting.
Break his neck. We're be remiss if we didn't mention Big Show breaking Hogan's neck at the end of Fall Brawl 98.
Yeah.
Like, breaking his neck. Like, come on.
So what do you think about the 10 beers and 5 mixed drinks a day claim? Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I think that's possible.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But, I mean...
But he worked out so ferociously
every day
to counteract it.
My goodness.
So I guess if
day.
he's doing, like all those free squats and working out every day, like he did it to earn being able to binge drink like that. But god damn,
What a
I don't think I could keep up that pace.
What a player, though. Because if you did do something like that, that would be something that I would assume you would want to hide, And he's just wearing it on his sleeve. Doc, 10 beers on the way to the bar, and then I'll have like 5 or 6 there. What's the big deal?
I was also struck by how humble Hulk Hogan was in this. And he just said,
Hogan came across excellently.
Of course he's better than me.
Yeah,
I can basically do 3 things.
Yeah,
and that was so interesting and refreshing.
Dude, I'm becoming more and more of a mark for Hogan. Like, every time I see him, it's like the older he gets, the more wise and compassionate and honest he's becoming. Okay, like in his feud with Beefcake, man. Whose side are you on? You already said it. But like, no brainer.
I'm on Hogan's side. No, because Beefcake is a lackey.
Yeah,
you got to know your role,
such
Beefcake.
A piece of shit.
Know your role.
And his work in Tropic of Paradise, let's just say subpar.
Tropic of Paradise?
Is
that where they touch dicks?
What is it? I do. It's not Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah.
Maybe now that he won that suit against Gawker and he's swimming in cash, he's like, I'll be totally honest about everything.
Yeah.
So the Reed stuff, man, we got to talk about. That's what really got me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so tragic that his son just wanted to emulate him in every way to the point where he did an angle with Eric Bischoff.
I knew the story behind Ashley, but after seeing this and accompanied with pictures of them as children growing up together and her motivation now to live his life.
Yeah.
So he will still be alive through me is as beautiful as siblings, as the story of siblings get.
And
stunning. I'll never look at another Charlotte match the same way. I'll never be able to, root against her.
Not think about that. Yeah.
And not think about that. And like every time, and now looking back when she won the title, and embracing Rick and crying together, there's no way I could get through that, man, without losing it.
And it was, I just like the perspective of like, maybe I shouldn't have been his best friend. I should have been his dad.
Oh my gosh.
That's just so interesting.
Barely getting that out.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful documentary. What did you think of the format? How do you feel about hearing the interviewer's questions?
I feel like in the hands of a better filmmaker, this could have been a better documentary. I think
I loved it.
There were a few interviews I'd take out. I didn't really like this guy. This guy only does 30
sports.
for 30s and sports stuff. Like if it could have been like somebody with more of like a marquee name, maybe we could have had a better product. But there was still really good stuff.
I liked the questions he was asking though, because it was basically like, I'm kind of an outsider. I'm a fan. I'm an admirer. But he's asking questions like the rudiments of wrestling. And it's interesting to hear Ric Flair say like, oh, I hang a string from the wall and I punch it until it doesn't move. That's how I fake punch. Like that he got out a lot. But maybe it's just couldn't be directed without hearing the literal questions. That's why he included himself in it. Maybe. I love the animation. The animation was
cool. Like I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there were incredibly touching moments.
I really thought, and I was surprised, Chael Sonnen, he gets interviewed towards the end. He had a really good insight into Ric Flair, and I was like, damn. He was like, he always said, he would say, to be the man, you got to beat the man, but sometimes the man isn't always the man.
Right.
Wow, that was very poignant.
Yeah, because he's acting like a child.
Yeah.
He's in this fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have too many fun facts, except that The Undertaker got coffee and cookies for the whole crew.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and this isn't on IMDb. That's another
Not
fun
yet.
fact. So,
that in itself is in fact fun. That's why we couldn't research any fun facts. Now, could we?
yeah, well, I'd give Nature Boy 8.7.
I will give it. Wait, I thought you were going to go lower than that because I was thinking like 8.7.
Oh, see, I said I didn't love it.
But you're still going to give it
But
8.7?
I did like it a
This
lot.
is your pitchfork skill.
Yeah,
You'd hardly give out 8s and 9s. Rarely, very rarely.
I'm going to give it an 8.7.
That's funny. That's literally exactly what I was going to give it. So I'm going to have to go 8.9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Ryan the Muffler Bruckner saying, I don't mind telling you I was wearing these custom-made $600 lizard shoes and this $13,000 Rolex when it happened.
And I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan saying, whether you're 5'6" or 6'6", the eye is a very sensitive part of the human anatomy.
Fat asses!